I want to inspire you to take up painting 3D prints as a hobby, and I'm going to do so by showing you exactly how I painted this model of Deadpool by Zez Studios. First, we're going to start with the base, as always, and we're going to start by dry brushing to bring out some of the details of this base. After I primed it in black, I dry brushed it in this very light gray. Now this base has some like asphalt, it has this manhole cover, and it has some like smoke around it, and that's why I'm just starting with a light gray dry brush to bring out some of those details. Now the smoke, I want to add some more details and make it stand out, so we're going to start with this dark gray. I thought I just wanted to kind of start with a darker tone of gray and work my way up in the gradient, if you will, to make it lighter. And you can see here as I'm working my way up, I'm also creating something of like a zenithal effect using lighter and lighter shades of gray. Now I say it's something like a zenithal because it's not exactly a zenithal, because we're not bringing in light from above, we're actually bringing in light from the rocket, because there's a rocket flying around this base and we're using the light source from the tail of the rocket. But before we continue on with that, I want to get this little yellow stripe out of the way because it is a piece of asphalt with a road, and I wanted to make sure it was clear that that's what it was by painting that yellow double striped line in there that we have in America in the middle of our roads. So after I masked that off and painted that with a yellow, I'm going back to the smoke. And you can see I still wasn't happy with the level of contrast that I developed on this smoke. So I'm actually dry brushing just straight white over top of all those edges because I really want to bring out the color of this smoke. I really want to bring out the contrast. Now, we're not done with the smoke yet. We're just going to take a break to work on some of the other details on this print, which as you see, there's a bunch of like pipes and stuff sticking out. I tried using rust as like a dry brush just to add some rusty tones to it, and I was okay with the effect, but I wanted to kind of boost it a little bit more. So I filled in some of the Garrigex sewer color, which is a very dark brown, on some of the gunk that was coming out of the pipes, assuming it's a sewer. And then I'm using that same color over top of the manhole cover because they're usually a very dark brown anyway. So again, it also makes it stand out a little bit. We have some smoke coming out of it. So I did the same effect there. I still wasn't happy with the pipes, so I used this light rust enamel wash over top of the pipes and also the rebar that's sticking out all over the place. Now they don't put rebar inside of asphalt, but I thought it was interesting anyway to just show. So with the rebar in there, we have it washed with the enamel rust, and I think it looks really good. It does help bring it all out. Now with a wash, because it's enamel, it's not an acrylic, you can just put it over top of an acrylic. There's no problems there. It won't hurt your paint so long as your acrylic is dry. And what's cool about an enamel wash, you can actually wash it off with just some enamel thinner. But anyway, back to the smoke. You can see now why that gradient of white and gray was so important. As we're spraying the yellow over top, you'll notice that it's only really grabbing onto the white parts, which is again what we're using to create something like an object source lighting, because our rocket is firing away. Right at the tail end of the rocket, it's going to be bright oranges and yellows, and as the smoke goes behind it, it's going to just turn gray because the ignition source isn't there. So the parts closest to the rocket, I have orange and yellow, and then as you get further away, it kind of fades into that smoke color. Now that that's out of the way, I'm going to move on to the rocket itself. And I love metallic black from Adam for a lot of my metallics. If you're not new to my channel, you'll see I've used this color on almost every model that has any kind of metallics on, but I added a little bit of black to really darken the metallic portion of it because I want it to be a very, very dark metallic black. I'm spraying metallic red over certain parts, and again, you're going to see this throughout this missile. There's just a bunch of red parts and black parts. Then there's a bunch of little details that we're going to have to hand paint. But first, just to get the metallic reds out of the way, I did have to go back and touch up a few areas because I hate masking. So like raise your hand if you do like masking. Okay, for those of you that raised your hands, I don't know that you raised your hands, so I'm going to assume that everyone didn't raise their hands, and we all hate masking. So, moving on, after we got all the red parts painted and touched up, I'm adding all these little cool details, which I really appreciate this because it totally fits the figure in Deadpool, but it also just adds some really cool little details that I could paint. So just using a very fine-tipped brush, I'm just going over all these details in white, just white out of a wet palette, and not doing any kind of like gradients or anything like that because there's no reason. This just looks so cool. It's kind of like a graffiti art on all of the weapons, and this is going to be on every single part of this rocket. It's around all the sides. There's so many little details. It's just so cool. I really enjoyed it. Such a humongous cool touch from Zez Studios on this design. It's seriously one of their best. So it also had Wolverine's dog tags, which I thought was really cool. Like, there was a lot of really cool little like Easter eggs in this one. I was really happy with it. And it's not done because like we did the same thing on the gun, like his gun that he's holding, but this is just the other part of the rocket. Just all the cool little details just really outdid themselves with all the cool little details on this one here. Again, kudos to Zez Studios for the design on this. Some other parts of the base, we have this barrel, which I haven't painted a barrel, I don't think, for a model since like, and a 50 caliber box since I painted my armor models like almost 2 years ago, if you can believe it. It's been that long since I painted military models. I mean, that was such a wild ride in the beginning, but it was cool because I was like, oh, I'm gonna paint some of these cool, you know, things that I used to paint for my tank models many years ago. And I just started with a dry brush to bring out some of the texture that they put onto this barrel, and then I'm just spraying that Militarum green over it. This isn't a major central focus point, so I don't want to put too much emphasis on that drum, but there was some all cool details that I was able to paint white, just like on the rocket. So you'll see that in the final reveal, of course. But with the grenades that were on there, I just basically did the same thing using metallic black and the Militarum green to get us a grenade look. I think I used some metallic black on the pin and the handle for the grenade. Now here you can see I used two different metallics here, some brass and copper for the bullets that are on there. I just chose copper to differentiate between the colors of the actual bullet and the brass casing, and then we just used black over that band. And here's that white I was telling you. There's just so many cool little logos all over the place of just like graffiti art from Deadpool, which I just thought was an absolutely incredible touch from Zez Studios. Again, humongous kudos to them for that. And it was just a lot of fun to actually sit and just paint all the writing. Now, I will say I didn't have to freehand too much. I think there were a few areas here and there where I actually had to freehand, but most of it was kind of embossed, meaning it was sunken in, so it actually made it really easy to paint. So I really appreciate that they took the time not only to put the details there, but to also make it easier for painters. And that's my drum. Really cool little fun thing to add. And with all that, we can assemble the base and kind of set that off on the side. Such a cool little base for an awesome character that we got to paint on this one. So really awesome. Now, it's just so cool to see all the details in place. Oh yeah, there were some other parts that I forgot to record that I missed. But hey, if you're interested in this model, I have it available as a DIY kit over on my store, so you should definitely go check that out. If you grab the kit, you get an extra 20% off your paint supplies, so you have everything you need to get started. I do offer commission painting if you just want the finished piece, but honestly, painting it for yourself is half the fun. So grab your kit at the link in the description below. So continuing on, we have more dry brushing to do because we're getting over to the figure now. The base is done and out of the way, and he has a bunch of like little bags and stuff that he has around his waist. So again, I'm just dry brushing these over top of like a gray primer. And the reason for that is we're going to make these look like leather. And so how we're doing that is using this snakebite leather from Citadel Color. And we're just going to spray that over top of that dry brush. And it really does make it look like leather. Now there's a bunch of different ways you can try to paint leather. If you want to paint with acrylics, you can make it look like leather that's been weathered and aged. But this is one of the simplest, easiest tricks that you can do when you're looking to just get started is to simply dry brush and use a transparent paint. It's one of the easiest, simplest tricks. For those of you that are more advanced, maybe you want to stick with the acrylics and do a gradient, and we can definitely talk about that. But I didn't do that in this video because, again, I'm trying to help people more so get started that are new to the hobby. Now, with his body, it's kind of obvious. I primed him in gray and I'm painting him in red. Now, I say that that's obvious because that's what color Deadpool is. But if you'll notice, I did not prime him in black and then spray in red. And it's really important to note that because red is one of those colors similar to like yellow where you don't want to spray it over top of a dark primer because it's just not going to show up right. And red is one of those. You definitely want to spray red over top of a gray or a white. I chose gray because I didn't want the red to be too vibrant. If you go white, the red will be really bright. But if you go black, the red will be very dark. So that's why I chose a neutral gray. Now, I do have his cool katana casing on the back that just looks really cool. I sprayed that in a metallic black, similar to what I did on the rocket, but we're going to come back to that. So pardon me jumping all over the place here as I was trying to paint basically with what colors I had. And in this case, I have metallic red, so I'm spraying his boot metallic red. His boots are the only thing that I sprayed with a metallic that are on his figure parts, if you will. But I didn't like how like shiny grayish silvery it was, so I went back over it with transparent red to kind of tone down the silver but still keep that metallic look. Now that I have the red done, I went over and did all the black details for his belts and all that fun stuff, and then I'm going back over with metallic black for all of the metallic buckles and whatnot. Now you might think maybe I should go with silver, and you can, but I wanted to keep the metallic black because it has a beautiful sheen and it's not so bright of a silver that it distracts from all the other colors that are going on. We also have the Deadpool logo on his belt buckle, which I'm just painting with red, metallic black, black, and white. So that's what it looks like once it's all done. Now his face, it's kind of the same thing you're going to see here as we're painting all the black after we painted the red. If you have the opportunity to avoid masking because the only other color on your character is black, or maybe you're going to spray a bunch of colors and then black is all that's left, you can avoid all the masking because black is going to cover anything. So no worries there. Now, one thing I did make a mistake on, I started painting all the black and then I realized I forgot to shade the red. So I didn't want it to be like the flat red. So I took that red from the Slaughter red from the Army Painter range and I sprayed in the shadows. I didn't really feel the need to add more highlights because I liked how the red already was. I just wanted to add some shadows. We have plenty of detail to help, you know, add to the realism, so we don't have to worry too much about the red shading on this one. Now, all the little details you see me painting in the background, it's just all of the blacks and metallic blacks you see. We're going to do the whole thing again on his body. But here, I actually remembered to do it in the right order. I sprayed the red, and then I sprayed the transparent shade of red in all of like his ab crevices and whatnot to add the shadows. So I actually did this one here properly. I just kind of must have got sidetracked and forgot a step. Now, this one cool thing I want to show, this light metal dry brush is really, really important over top of that metallic black. This is like my favorite technique, and if you're a longtime viewer, you know that I love this light metal dry brush that I use from the ammo range. I'm using it over top of his metallic boots too. Number one, to help sell that they are a metallic, and to number two, add a little bit of like aging and weathering, a little bit of like, you know, he's seen a battle or two and it's scuffed up his boots. It's kind of the idea. Now, one other thing I did here was he has some other belts, and he also has, like, on tops of his shoulders, I wanted to add a little bit of highlights in the black so it wasn't just a flat black. So I added like a really dark gray to add a little bit of highlight in there and blended that well. And then I went over all of his details with the belts, with the bullets, using all the colors that you've seen me use thus far, just to keep everything congruent throughout the figure. And I thought it turned out really, really well. Now, again, we still have more on his boots, so pardon me for these being like all over the place. Back when I was painting Deadpool, which has been some time ago because it's my old bench setup, I would kind of like pick a color and then paint that color on everything. I have since changed to where I paint each individual part of the model as if it's its own miniature, and I really like that method a little bit better. What you see me doing in the background is I'm painting the lines on his mask, because Zez did a great job of giving us a little channel to paint that black line. And then for his eyes, I'm just painting them white, because it's as simple as that once his mask is on and he makes all of his funny, you know, expressions just using his eyeballs. So there's his cool katana holster. Again, same concept as what I did on his mask there. I'm painting the metallic reds inside of the metallic black using the channels that Zez sculpted for us. And I'm doing the same thing here with metallic red in the channel on the katanas. There's also a really cool little detail on the very tip of the katana that I thought was a nice little touch. Lastly, we're painting up his gloves and all his knuckle pads. Oh, and the gun. I mentioned this a while ago, but the gun had some cool details on it too, so I got to paint those, which was really awesome. Again, just using a really fine brush and white paint, and it says bang, which makes total sense. So I mentioned earlier that we were painting grenades. Wow, I really am all over the place. This whole video is about as organized as Deadpool. It's literally all over the place. So forgive me, but here's the grenades that I mentioned earlier that I used the metallic black on, actually showing me painting the metallic black on there. So, and then to finish off with the thing that we started with, because of course, why wouldn't we have this so well organized? We added some leather to the leather straps and metallic black to the buckles. And after we assemble him, he looks really awesome on this base. Fits together like a glove because that's how Zez does it. And that is Deadpool. I have plenty more work coming your way, so I hope that you'll subscribe, and I'll see you back here next time for more tutorials on how to paint some of your favorite characters. If you're interested, I do have a Patreon, and I want to take a moment to thank all of my patrons that I currently have supporting my work over on Patreon. If you're interested on some exclusive content, you can head on over to my Patreon at Relentless Storm yourself and check it out. You get some awesome, cool content there. I am also available on Instagram, where you can see my entire portfolio of work as it gets released, so definitely check that out as well at Relentless Storm 70.